And this is Salty Language, episode 545.
The sexiest podcast on the network.
Pew, 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 pew,
Yeah,
pew,
exactly.
pew.
Whatever.
Yeah. Well, you're wearing a Star Wars shirt, so I figured I'd go with
I forgot about that.
I'd go with the pew pew. So
I thought it would not be appropriate to wear my, Billy's first knife fight or whatever shirt to my daughter's conferences at her school.
disagree, but
Yeah, fair enough.
you just sit down, cross your arms, and be like, "What?"
Yeah. And
yeah, hey, man, what a week.
yeah, you've had some shit.
Man. Yeah.
I mean, it's Wednesday and we're recording. We should say something.
Right. Jeez,
And
Tony's
I'm
dying
over here.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. So
we're good now.
On top of all the other stuff I talked about last week, this past week, we found out that my mom's boyfriend contracted COVID, and
why would he pay for that?
Yeah, right, dude. And the circumstances behind it. His son-in-law went out to eat with a friend of his, and his friend was like, "Oh yeah, I got COVID, but I feel fine." Still went out to eat with him.
Well, why wouldn't you, right?
Yeah, so his son-in-law and his daughter both got COVID. Luckily, their son did not. So they've got him staying in a undisclosed location, to try to stay away from it, basically, while they're dealing with it. Well, and then she found out today that her, I don't know if they're still married or if they're separated or what the story is. But anyway, but she found out apparently he never had any of his shots, and he told her he had, and he sounds like he's got a pretty bad case of COVID. Like he's got like the full on tummy flu, headaches, all the chills, fever, like the full gamut of
that
it,
sounds
which
lovely.
I'm going to I don't care if I sound like an asshole, but I'm kind of like, well, good, because not because he didn't get vaccinated, but because
that's kind of how I feel.
he chose to lie. And then after that, so she goes up to see Jim, doesn't know she has been exposed to COVID. Now he has it. She has it. I'm waiting on my test results. And, my mom's basically just going to go off of my test results, kind of.
Right.
Because neither of us are showing any symptoms, thank goodness.
Oh, that's good.
None at all. But that doesn't mean we don't have it,
100% accurate.
Right? So we're,
you guys are all good up on your shots and whatnot.
Yep. Yeah. And we're staying in. We're not good. Like I ordered pizza tonight, but I did the old contactless delivery.
Well,
so
when I do that, it means still knock on the door.
No.
They still want face-to-face contact.
Well, they try to make out with you. That was the weirdest part,
Like, did someone order a sexy pizza?
Forget the $5. I got another tip for you.
Yeah, I'm hot and ready.
Oh boy. But it's funny. Kind of, shoot off of the other talk for a minute here. But the dichotomy of, you ever have one of those weeks or nights or whatever where you look at what you had like for dinner the night before and you look at what you had that night and you're like, wow, that was a real turnaround. Last night I texted we were texting. I had gone to the store. I was looking for some other various meats and saw a couple, small sirloins that weren't terribly expensive. And I'm like, we haven't had steak in forever.
Treat yourself.
That's right. So that was exactly my thought was, what? We haven't had it. Let's have a nice steak versus normally I buy a lower cut of meat and then just treat it right, and they come up fine. But I was like, I'm going to buy a little nicer cut than normal, and whatever. So I got those and, got a little sear on them, put them in the oven to finish, came out, chef's kiss, did a little, the old pepper, onion, mushroom.
Did you do the Salt Bay?
Oh yeah, of course.
Is that guy still relevant?
I have no idea. I know he has restaurants, which I didn't know. Apparently at his restaurants, other people come out to the table and do the Salt Bay thing, which to me, yeah, it's either him or nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But
just
anyway,
like anytime I go to McDonald's, I fully expect Ronald McDonald to be making my hamburger.
Yes, and a fist fight Hamburglar in the parking lot
Absolutely.
because he's trying to steal your hamburgers. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But like I said, did the kind of traditional steak dinner, did a little potato action, the little sautéed some veg, and then finish them in the goodness that was in the pan with the steak.
Right.
Did all that, and it was like like I said, chef's kiss. And then tonight I ordered discs of shame. So
I mean,
from
it is quite the coin flip.
yeah, we got some hot and ready's from Little Caesars. Well, what it was, we had something sitting in the fridge, and it got a little suspect because we left it in there a little too long. So we were like, and we can't really go get anything because
Right.
we've been exposed to COVID. So I was like, well,
Should have exposed yourself to that sus-ass food.
yeah, right. So like, well, I'll just order us a pizza for tonight. And so yeah, it was just kind of funny how, and it's also funny how both of them kind of hit the spot though.
Yeah, there's something weird about the Little Caesars nonsense.
I saw somebody
talked about it before,
Yeah. I saw somebody a couple weeks ago though describe Little Caesars pizza as perfect kids pizza, and I was like, yes, that nails it. When you're a little kid, that's the kind of pizza you want.
Okay, that's fair,
right? As an adult, we've had much better pizzas, of course.
Oh yeah,
we've had some places that really throw down on some pies.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But it does. There is something about that does kind of take you back to because I can't help but think of all the times as a kid. We got Little Caesars and that big old white thing where it had the two pizzas in it.
It was all wrapped in paper.
Yeah,
pizza.
That's right.
You fucks.
So, which doesn't exist anymore. You got to buy two pizzas now, jerks.
Yeah, this is bullshit.
When I was a kid, we got two pizzas.
Yeah, we got two for the price of one. We liked it. We loved it.
We did actually.
We actually did.
Yeah. Anyway, so going back to the other stuff, it's it's been a week because now like my mom can't go visit Jim in the hospital,
right?
Because A, he has COVID, and B, she doesn't know if she's clear. I had a therapy appointment and I called and I was like, yeah, I'm rescheduling because I've been exposed to COVID. And they're like, well, in order to come in again, you have to have had a negative test. And I'm like, oh shit. So luckily,
I have a headache.
Yeah, right. Luckily, my doctor's office once again comes through. They do testing there.
Oh, nice.
So I don't have to go anywhere crazy. No long line. Like I called, a woman called me back in like 15 minutes and she goes, okay, today around 3:00, you just drive up. They have a little like shed out in their parking lot. And I shit you not,
to the beat off shed.
It's what it looks like. Other than it'd be a little weird as a beat off shed.
They're whacking off in my tool shed again.
It'd be weird as a beat off shed though, because it does have big windows on the doors. Oh. So it's a very exhibitionist friendly one. But I wouldn't want to squeegee those doors.
No.
So, you just drive up. She stepped out, and, rammed that thing up my nose, and which was very uncomfortable, but whatever,
Well, plus, I mean, she's probably done that 800 times or more.
Dude, she wasn't like, mean or anything about it. She was, very gentle, but I was like, careful. It's my first time,
You're not even going to wine and dine me.
Yeah. She spit on it and then stuck it up my nose.
There you go.
You know how you do.
Like you do. Prison rules.
Right. But like I said, it was uncomfortable, but it wasn't anything. I really don't know what people are whining about when they have. I mean, I could see not wanting to have one done, like some of the poor people who've got to have one done like 14 times a week or whatever.
Because man, that little swab, they're not taking a test, man. They're putting a total recall tracker in your brain.
I hope so. That way, if I get lost, when I finally do lose my mind, they'll be able to find me easily.
You got to get that like little wire claw thing, and or whatever noises he made, and that was always the grossest part.
I think you pretty much nailed him. Like I think you pretty much nailed him.
Flashing blood booger. It was vile.
Well, I mean, that's what happens, right?
That's what happens when you go to Mars.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, So that's been the fun of my week pretty much as far as that stuff goes.
Sounds terribly exciting.
Yeah, it's it sucks because I'm just watching it just wear my mom down,
I'm
you
sure
know. And
that's yeah.
on the flip side, being able to stay home a few days, you know, she's getting some rest
Well,
and
that is good.
whatever. Yeah, I've been cooking and, you know, trying to make sure,
You should have
you know.
you should have ordered a pizza and then just pulled a Cocoa House. Be like, look, I made pizza.
Yeah, just put it on a rack or
Just
something.
put it on a big platter.
Hey, Manja!
Hey, look at this fucking pie I put together.
That would have been funny. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, my week hasn't been that exciting, but you know, it's been a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, nothing. Like I said, nothing terribly exciting.
Yeah, that's not all bad though. You know, you talk about that with some people, and you know, because you hear how some people have just had thing after thing after thing after thing in their week,
Yeah.
and all of it bad, and you're like, you know, I did nothing, but I'm gonna count that as a win because that really sounds like a terrible week that you had. I severely much rather have the week I had than something like that, you know. And like with us, it sucks because Jim had fluid on his lungs before
Speaking of,
the kind of COVID thing. So, you know, like they had to go in and drain his lungs a little bit and hopefully, but as far as COVID goes, he seems to be
oh, that's
okay.
good. Probably.
And like you said, you know,
shots.
yeah. And he was all the way up on that, his flu shot, all that, his pneumonia vaccine, you know, all the stuff. So it's hopefully that stuff's doing its job,
Right.
you know? So yeah, you know, that's all you can do is just be thankful that this wave is less harsh than the previous wave or whatever. And you know, it's like, geez, in the last couple of weeks, it's weird how, you know, remember we talked about this a few weeks ago, how like when this started, it was a long ways away from us. Remember different times we were like, do you know anybody who's gotten it?
Right.
And so many people were like, no, I don't. And now it's like, it's all the way. The circle is finally closed all the
I know
way
a lot
on
of
me,
people
you know?
because I at my work especially.
Yeah, right. Well, with me, the closest it had gotten before was, you know, my sister had it, but we weren't anywhere near. So it's close, but not, the circle it wasn't in the house,
Yeah,
basically, you know?
it got in.
Yeah. And then finally it was like, you know, it's just like, well, you know, it's, you know, especially like with my mom going to the hospital, that was kind of a worry, but it's like, you know, I'm going out getting groceries and doing stuff. So it's like, there's a risk out there no matter what.
Honestly, I know it's just a matter of time. I'm just
Yeah.
waiting.
And like with me, like I said, I don't have the only thing I have two things that are on the symptoms list. One is I've had a headache for about 4 days now.
Yeah, but that's
but
since
you also
like you were
know
12.
Yeah. Well, and our weather has been changing. Like there's been what, three systems go through here in like the last
It's
week.
all fucked up.
So yeah, and like I was talking with my sister today, and she has sinus issues too, and she's like, "Oh, for the last 4 days, I've had a headache," and I'm like, "Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That tells
COVID.
me most likely
Oh.
mine are COVID." Yeah, no, but it's most likely sinuses. The other thing is sore throat, but I know because I'm all congested, I'm snoring like a wildebeest.
Oh yeah,
because I've woken myself up a few times snoring.
Yeah, you don't have to.
So
trust me, that's going on in this household too. Except I'm not waking myself up. I'm sleeping like a baby. It's the rest of the house that suffers.
Well, it only sucks then for you anyway when you wake up because you're like, geez, you know, like what is somebody like jammed gravel down my throat while I was sleeping, you know?
Well, no, it sucks for me for that. And then like later in the day when I'm like, you know, like texting at work, like, hey, how you doing today? Oh, I slept like shit, and I'm like, I feel so guilty.
Well, the response there is always, really? I slept like a baby.
Yeah, that's weird. Man, I slept sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep. Good times. Good times.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Fortunately, I'm sleeping by myself, so I'm not keeping anyone else awake. I don't think, anyway. I mean, if I'm snoring loud enough to keep, anyone else awake,
I've been told that sometimes she'll go to the couch, and I'm still keeping her awake.
Well, dude, in fairness, I mean, you were around T when he snored. We could have went in the other room and still been kept awake by that.
I mean, I know how my dad sounded.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it was basically just like constant, you know, big rigs downshifting, you know?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Yeah, it sucks.
Coming in the front end and going out the back end. Yeah, I hear you. Oh
yeah.
boy.
Oops, my little lid's on here all sideways. You know
Yeah.
what's been weird, Brian?
No.
Is I'm doing this, and I'm sticking to it. God damn it. This like
juice cleanse?
No. Hell no. No, I'm doing that whole like just having beers on the weekend thing. Man,
yeah.
It really sucks at night. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to enjoy a beverage.
Right.
Choices are awfully limited. Been drinking a lot of tea. Which
right.
I like tea. That's fine. I don't mind. I just got done with a mug of hot chocolate.
Wow, you really are digging through the cabinet.
Yeah, well,
aren't
that
you?
was just like I saw that. We bought a shit ton of packets at Costco, and I'm looking at it. And I'm like, that actually sounds kind of good.
Yeah, it does once in a while. Like I'm not a hot beverages guy, but once in a while, a hot chocolate does sound good to me.
I made a double batch of hot tea, and I dropped some of my giant bourbon ice cubes in it. So I got a little iced tea action.
Oh wait, I had to stop and process that. I was thinking that you actually had like ice cubes made of bourbon.
No. Like I said, that's weekend activities now.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot it's a school night.
Exactly. I'm trying to be a good boy.
Right.
But I mean,
it's funny. Like when I was at the store the other day, I got I've told you before, we've talked about it plenty of times about how that Calder's Dairy, they have chocolate milk up there. Yes. And I usually grab one because it's such a treat, because it really is like drinking melted chocolate ice cream is what it tastes like.
What it tastes like. It's ridiculous.
It does, right? Yeah. So they didn't have the smallest bottle, but they had like the little like ones that look like a gallon, like Sterling used to have when we were kids.
Yeah, little tiny milk jugs. You feel like a giant.
Yeah, and so I grabbed one of those, and I've had a couple of pulls off of that, and because I don't just, like, as much as I'd love to just chug the thing straight down, I try to save it across a couple days, like later at night where I'm like, man, I really go for like candy or chocolate or something. I'll just go have a glass of chocolate milk.
3 fingers of chocolate milk.
Because it really is like drinking melted ice cream.
It's crazy how good it is.
It's so rich, but it's so good. Yeah, so I got that, but it is just funny how just getting that little jug, that's another, like, took me back to my ute a little bit there.
Little jugs.
Yeah.
Now, over the weekend though, I did see our buddy Steve.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I can't remember what we were doing Saturday, but he just out of the blue just kind of texted me. He's like, "Hey, what are you up to?" Yeah, whatever. Why, what? Yeah, it was a whole thing. Well, what do you need? What do you need, bud? And we ended up going, meeting up for cigars, which the normal place we go is like 5 minutes from the house. It's perfect. Yeah. I kind of feel bad because, he always drives down here, but there's no like cigar place in Monroe. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's like, how do you feel about like driving an extra 15 minutes? Like, all right, what are you thinking? Well, there's this place in Waterville. It's called 3rd Street. So, mind you, this boy lives up in Monroe, Michigan.
Yeah, that's why I said,
he's already making a good half-hour drive to get to me.
Because honestly, when you said 15 minutes, I'm thinking you driving toward him. Like, because I'm like, well, is there something in Dundee? Like I'm thinking more that way. Like, is there something over there? So
I mean, there is, actually, now you mentioned that, but there's a Port Royale up there.
Yeah, because like Dundee's a little more kind of in between the two of you, a little bit. Not really, but kind of, yeah.
But this spot, it's in downtown Waterville, which I have no excuse never have been to since that's where my sister lives.
Right.
I mean, I could literally park at her house and walk to this place if I wanted to, And dude, this place is great.
Good to know in case you have too much.
I mean, you're not wrong, buddy. Yeah. No, it's like an old building downtown. They have a downstairs lounge, an upstairs lounge. They have a private lounge in the back for the members. They apparently, if you become a member, you can have 24-hour access to the building.
Oh, that's weird. Right? Okay. Yeah. Like, kind of makes you want to try it just to see what, like, if you go in at like 3 a.m, what the scene looks like.
That's what, because Steve, a guy he works with, is a member. He said, they got off of work one morning at 6 a.m. And they went and turned on the lights. There's like a back entrance you go in. You have a card. And, they turned on the lights and turned on the smoke eaters and had a cigar and then left.
That seems like such a liability risk for your insurance, though, doesn't it?
Very stringent process to become a member. Plus,
Okay.
it's not cheap.
Okay. No, I would hope not for that kind of thing. Yeah.
But right. Dude, this place is cool. I mean, I know you're not a cigar smoker, but I think you would dig the vibe because they had good liquor. There's all this like music memorabilia everywhere, like all these old like posters of bands that used to play at the sports arena, and then of course all the comfy leather chairs and big TVs with football on doesn't help either, or doesn't hurt.
No, right.
And they had beer.
Yeah, like really,
yeah, like they had a cooler that had probably 10 to 12 different beers in it. Which every cigar place I've been to is always like liquor, which I like liquor, but sometimes I want a beer.
But I understand that because, when you think of a cigar, you usually think of a little scotch or a little whiskey of something.
I totally get it too. But sometimes.
Yeah. But, what if you're not a hard liquor guy? Maybe you just, also, if you're going to be driving anywhere, beer's a little easier to drive on, I'm sure, than liquor is because you can control yourself a little easier.
Right.
Like you know where you're at.
Exactly.
Yeah.
On the floor, crawling out the door.
Right, to your sisters.
No, the place is cool, though. Real nice. We were talking to a guy, he was just kind of like listening to our conversation and just sort of talking to us. And the guy's like a lineman out of Wasion or something.
Right. Offensive or defensive.
Yes. But he was telling me about the Fulton County Fair. And he says it's fucking insane. Like they've got all those weird, like open, like dirt track racing with all these old motorcycles that people from all over the country come in, like motorcycles with no brakes, like old.
Oh my!
And
wow!
There's like combine demolition derbies and
really. Yeah. Wow! All right, that sounds.
He says he's like, it's crazy out there. He's like, it's like country boys with money.
I know I went when I was like a little kid, but that was 600 years ago. So, I don't even remember it, but I know I've been there a few times as a kid because we used to go to a lot of the different fairs. Right. Because my dad and my mom used to like going to them, so we'd go to various different ones around the area.
Good time, but I've never been to that one.
Yeah.
But then we left that spot and went up the road to the Buffalo Rock Brewing for one more.
Right.
And I really like that place. But it's so fucking loud in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they had a guy playing music.
Oh,
as soon as like my watch has a thing in it, if it gets too loud, it lets you know, like, hey, this is a hearing danger. As soon as we walked in,
wow.
It's like, I'm like, huh. and we were only there probably 10 minutes, and then the guy was done because they were closing soon. Because, for some reason, breweries close early.
Yeah, they don't like to stay open real late for whatever reason.
But man, that's a spot I got to get you out to. That place it's cool, and they make like. Yeah. I was there maybe 2 months ago with my sister, and there had to have been 10 different beers on tap. Like, it was crazy. Like they must make a bunch of just small batch stuff.
Yeah, they have that kind of turnover in that short of time. It must.
I think they had 13 on tap or something, and 3 or 4. I'm like, oh, I remember that name. And then there's all these, which actually I have. Steve and I split a 4-pack. By split, I mean he bought, and he's like, "Do you want half of this?" I'm like, "Yes, I do."
Yeah.
It was this.
Then you smacked him and took the other ones. Yeah.
God damn. It was this like pale ale called Spicy Bison. You know how I am with the spicy beers. At beer fest, those are typically fuck you. Right.
Yeah, they generally are. There's been a few we've had that are like, actually, but most of them have been fuck you beers.
So this place is very good about, hey, can I try a sample of that? No problem.
Yeah. Right. No, they just slap you.
So I took a sip, and it was like 0 heat, but all like the fruity floral notes of like a jalapeno.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like I could taste the jalapeno, but there was no heat.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it was really good.
That I could see being really good because usually
thrown off
is
by it.
Yeah, because usually the heat ends up killing you because even if it tastes good, that heat just wrecks your tongue, and it's like, oh, you just basically set fire to all the flavors you
Yeah.
just
Because the
unleashed.
only reason we asked about it is, we were sitting where, the bartenders were assembling beers and they're putting like rims on certain ones and mashing blueberries in a pint glass. And on one of them, they
Yeah,
threw a couple slices of jalapeno in. I'm like, what is that? And it was
right.
the spicy bison, but we got no jalapeno. It's fucking delicious.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how I'd feel about having like slices of
Yeah,
jalapeno
I'm
thrown in the
good.
beer.
Like, I don't want spicy beer.
No, I really don't. Really, if I want to drink something that's spicy, I'll go have some whiskey.
Yeah, it'll
Basically,
give you a little
you know.
burn there.
Yeah, that's enough
Yeah,
for me.
I don't mind spicy food, but I don't want a spicy drink.
Yeah,
You know?
that's my other thing is,
Correction, except
my
for Bloody
stomach
Mary.
just right. Yes, I 100% agree with you on there because I do prefer I mean, there's a level for me, but I do prefer it to have a
Yeah,
little
I
a little
want to know
zing
it's
to
there.
it. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
God, that sounds good. I
Which
might
is
do the Bloody Mary this
which is
weekend.
weird because usually after a night of drinking, that's like the worst idea for me because usually the beer or whatever I drank the night before is giving me heartburn. Ah,
Yeah,
sure,
throw
I'll
some
have a Bloody Mary
gasoline
to
on it.
start off. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but cigar night was a good time. It's a good time. I've been like craving
Well,
a cigar too, so.
just chewing them up.
Oh man,
Yeah.
seriously, like, because my new foreman at work, he's all about cigars. We talk about a lot, and it just makes me want one. And it's too
Yeah.
fucking
Just light up
cold
at
out,
work.
bro.
Just light up at work. Be all right.
He said when he first started working there that, they didn't, obviously it was in the olden days, they didn't give a shit. He's like, you imagine just like doing your work and just having a cigar while you're walking around the plant? And I'm like,
Yeah.
what? That sounds all right.
You're like, yeah, actually, I think about it all the
Yeah,
time.
constantly. I see why some of the old timers that work there smoke like chimneys, though.
Yeah. Interesting.
Oh, man. That is delicious. So I've been enjoying two of the most hated games of 2021.
Really? Well, one of which is Battlefield,
Yeah,
right? Okay.
I mean, I know it does have its problems.
Yeah, I know what the other one is now. It just clicked in my head. Probably the most hated on game of 2021.
Yeah, Battlefield has its problems, and I agree with what a lot of people are saying, but I haven't been enjoying it. And I hear there's a new patch coming up. It's going to fix some of the things people have been bitching about.
It won't. It's EA.
I know. I mean, we'll see. But I have been enjoying it. But yeah, the other one was I can't remember if I talked about this on the last episode.
Yeah.
But no, okay. Yeah, I was at Meijer and walked by the game section. On the end cap, they had Cyberpunk for PlayStation 4 clearance down to $7.50.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that's a place, if you're ever in there, always walk by the games because sometimes they've got clearance games like that you're like, really? Like that no one else is really clearanced at this point.
That's what I did. I went, and I kind of looked at it and I went, I think I'm buying this.
Yeah.
And, it took a while for it to upload off the data disk and all the patches to download.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a lot to download for that. Yeah,
but
I'm sure.
I've been enjoying the game and I haven't run into any. I've ran into one glitch and it wasn't even a massive one. For some reason, when you're driving your car, you can switch cameras, right? And it had me in first person mode because of like a cinematic, and I couldn't get out of it. Which I don't. Have you played Cyberpunk yet?
I have not yet. No.
Driving in first person is basically impossible because your car's got shit all over the dashboard. You usually have a passenger.
Oh. Okay.
And it's just so it's like I'm trying to switch, and it turns out if that does happen, people that are listening, you just save your game and then reload the save, and then it's fine.
That makes sense because you're past the cinematic at that point.
I like drove around the city for probably 5 minutes, like smashing into shit, and I'm like, why can't I get out of this?
Right. Well, that's the thing. Is when that game first came out, there was like so many things like that's why the game was literally unplayable from what I was reading. That's why, remember, I bought it. I got it like day it came out because I had pre-ordered it. And I was like, well, I'm just going to wait because they're like, we got a huge patch on the way. I was like, well, I'll wait for that one. Then they were like, we've got another huge patch on the way. I was like, well, I'll wait for that one. And then I was like, I'm just going to wait down the road a little ways. let them really fix this game, and then I'll start it up.
Yeah.
From what I've read, it sounds like they've gotten a lot of the stuff fixed now. I haven't
seen. I mean, I've seen some of the videos of the goofy shit that's happened.
Oh yeah, there's some crazy stuff in the game.
I haven't seen anything. The only weird thing I had was that camera. I couldn't get out of first person mode. But other than that,
yeah.
And it's not like I've played for a long time, but I've done a few missions.
Yeah.
I've kind of went around the city, and
yeah.
I mean, I think it's a cool game.
You spent a few hours making your, anatomically correct character.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is a cool game. You know, it's like,
that's what I've heard is once now that they've got most of the shit fixed in it's such a shame that the company rushed it to market and the developers did not get a chance to really polish the game before, because it really ruined it. Because now it's like, I know they've got DLC and stuff planned, but it makes you wonder if it'll ever come out, because you know how it is a lot of times with these games. If they don't do as well as they thought, sometimes they'll scrap it, because producing that and patching it costs money. So sometimes they'll just go,
I mean, it's like I said, a guy I work with, I talked to him about it. Two people I work with played it. One guy loves the game. Of course, he's playing on PlayStation 5 now. Loves it. The other guy bought it, didn't like it. I'm like, what did you like about it? He's like, there's all this like weird slang I don't get, and it's like the world's weird. And it's like, have you ever played like Shadowrun or Netrunner? Or he's never like, I'm familiar with these kind of like, I mean, cyberpunk is the genre, but those cyberpunk worlds.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or watched Blade Runner, or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so it's like
dude, every game has, like, any game where it's not set in like the current time has its own language, slang,
they're
blah
trying
blah
to make
blah.
it feel like it's a different era.
Yeah,
which I get.
That's the whole point. Yeah. Well, is he a boomer? No.
No, he's younger than I am.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So he's not as resistant to change. Okay. Like maybe he's just it's not what I'm used to guy.
I don't know. I was just kind of like, oh, all right, because I he's a big gamer, so that's why I wanted to talk.
I can't understand. Sometimes games can be overwhelming. I mean, like, look at us watching Michelle when she was playing Death Stranding, and we were like, what the fuck is even going on here?
And it is. I mean, the world's huge. And it's like, you have missions, but you can just kind of wander around, like going to like ramen shops and just talk to anybody you want. And I mean,
well, that was the thing with the game. It was supposed to be this really ambitious, big project. And that was, like I said, they ran it out early because it had already been delayed multiple times. It's honestly one of the fears I have for that Elden Ring that's coming out soon. Right. Is that it's been promised for like 5 years, 6 years, or 10 years. I don't know what it was. And it's like, you kind of go, oh, man, I hope this has been long enough. I hope, I hope they're not just going, look, we've delayed this thing way too much. We just got to get it out.
Aren't that the people behind all the Souls games is behind that?
Yeah.
Okay, see,
they usually do a good job on
I
stuff.
think they'll probably be fine.
Yeah. But still, it's the same kind of worry. It's like when a game is promised to be something, great, and then it takes forever. You're like, well, either this is going to be the greatest thing ever, or it's going to be the Chinese democracy.
Right.
It's
exactly right. I just accidentally deleted a fucking note. I didn't mean to.
Sweet. Well, speaking of games, dude, did you see the big news in the game world?
Lay it on me.
Microsoft agreed to buy Activision Blizzard for, what is it, like $80 billion?
I did see that.
Now, here's the funny part, right? The ramifications of that were, in the same day, Sony's market value dropped $20 billion. Because people were like, dude, they already own Bethesda, and now they're getting Activision Blizzard. That's going to give them Call of Duty. That's going to give them Diablo, World of Warcraft, Overwatch, and a bunch of other stuff that those companies, and I know Activision makes a bunch of shit, So, and this now allows Microsoft, if they want to, this is going to potentially allow them to go, you can only get these games by getting the Xbox Game Pass.
Right.
And it's like, I don't think they will. I think they're still going to release, like, you'd be stupid not to keep putting out Call of Duty on both platforms.
Yeah, because, I mean,
why wouldn't you just sell all the copies?
Exactly.
But they could pick certain games and go, you know what? This is only coming out on Xbox, or for the first 6 months it's on Xbox or whatever, and really get people to go, man, I got to get an Xbox, and not even an Xbox, just the Games Pass, and a gaming computer or something, like, something that runs.
I haven't pulled the trigger on a next-gen system, obviously.
Right, nor have I.
But when you hear news like this, I kind of go,
time to go back to Xbox,
might be time
right?
to go back to Xbox, because what does Sony have for me besides like God of War and Spider-Man?
Yeah, that's the tough part. I know it certainly doesn't. It certainly makes you think twice about it. Because and because again, it's like, dude, not to mention, like I said, you don't even have to buy a lot of those games. You can just pay for the service, which is only $15 a month, and have access to all these games. That's freaking ridiculous. Even for me, I could just holler at you and be like, hey, can I come over and download a couple games, and then like come home and play them.
Absolutely, but you're gonna eat weird shit first.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the burden.
That is the burden.
But wow, it's not. They've agreed to it. It's still got to be okayed by like governments and whatnot. Because at some point you might hit a situation.
This is a
it's
monopoly.
Funny because, but it's going to be tough to claim monopoly on something almost though, right? Because there's so many game companies and so many games.
I mean, they have a lot of the big ones, but they don't have all of them.
They're very much becoming the Disney of the game.
That's a good way to put it.
They're just swallowing up all the big stuff, but they're still playing. I mean, EA is still out there, and there's others that are out there that aren't owned by one of them. But the question really will be: is this going to keep continuing? Because I don't know if it's good or bad for games for it to keep happening.
I kind of feel like it's bad.
Yeah,
that's
my initial thing. But I don't know.
I feel like competition breeds, more creativity and good stuff.
Yeah, because really it was funny because when game systems, when Xbox and Sony first were fighting, it was about, well, which console has the exclusives that really sing to you?
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
And I was always more of a Sony guy because they had better sports games and role-playing games, so I was more that way, But I know a lot of people, Halo obviously was a big reason to buy an Xbox and stuff. So,
I bought mine.
But it's like, instead of going more exclusive, I was actually hoping over time we would get more cross-platform. But we still, and it may still continue to grow. I think it will, because I really think cross-platforming on a lot of these games is the smartest way. Because then you'll sell more and more of them, and it also helps, right? Because it's like, like if all of us had PlayStations and somebody we knew just had a Switch, maybe they don't buy Call of Duty.
Right.
Because they can't play with their friends. But now that it's cross-platform or whatever, now it's like, oh, hey, yeah, I'll buy it because we can still play together, so why not?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I think it'll, I don't know. It's just a weird thing to kind of look at now. But, man, that's a big purchase. That's a big deal for Activision Blizzard, too, because they've had so much negative press over the workplace shenanigans and stuff that have been going on there, that this will probably help their cause, because I think that the CEO is going to be stepping down, and, it gives them a fresh coat of paint a little bit, if nothing else. It'll be a good refresh for that company.
Right.
And it still keeps dumping money in there. Now, my question will be, like I said, I always am like, well, are they going to change any games to where they're this platform exclusive? Because Diablo 4 is not out yet, and Diablo I really will want to play. So, maybe it'll force me to pull a trigger on a new system.
What's interesting is I'm just perusing, and it seems like you can find Xboxes when you can't find PlayStations.
Yeah, PlayStation 5 is definitely the more sought after one.
Yeah, like if I had the $500 to drop on an Xbox Series X, the black top tier one, I could get it in 6 days from Best Buy.
Right. Yeah, I see them go up all the time, or posts from different things I followed where they're like, "Hey, there's going to be more Xboxes available." So, yeah. Also, PlayStation still doesn't have anything that makes me go, "Dude, I have to have that PS5."
Yeah, exactly.
There's still nothing. Whereas again, Xbox has the Games Pass and the new Halo.
Yeah, and the new Halo from what I hear is fucking incredible.
Right. And I always dug playing the campaign in Halos, over the years. Those are one game I usually play the campaign on. It's a shooter. A lot of the shooters I just play the multiplayer aspect, and that's it. So I don't know. We'll see though. But I'm with you. It's like I've been leaning more and more. But also again, you don't even have to buy an Xbox.
Yeah, that's true.
You just need a computer that would run something. So it's there's another option in that as well. So it's pretty nuts.
It is wild.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, I don't know, man.
Oh man,
dang man. Yeah, it is wild.
Well, speaking of Boomhauer, they announced, was it yesterday or today, that King of the Hill is going to be getting a revival.
Oh, no shit. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, with Mike Judge and, oh shit, I can't think of his name. The other creator. I can't think of it. Great. Shit, I can't think of his name now. Anyway, they're both going to be, they're attached to working on it. Greg Daniels. There we go. Yeah. They'll oversee the series, their new Asian company, Bandera Entertainment.
Nice.
So no details past, just that they announced that they're gonna.
I mean, that shit's cool.
Start working on it. Yeah, watching it quite a bit on because it's on Adult Swim now, and they run they run anywhere from like 1 to 4 episodes every night. Just depends on what night of the week it is, basically.
God dang,
so,
dang.
Yep. Right on. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's one of those shows that I've never watched the entire
Nor have
run.
But yeah.
I kind of wish I had. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, it's available. I think it's on, I don't remember which streaming service it's on. Might be HBO Max.
Well, let's find out. I got the internet right here.
Might be on Hulu. I know I've seen it on one of them.
Oops, I put King of the Ill. Fuck yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
That's gonna be my series.
Yeah. That's on the other side.
Hulu.
Hulu. Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember who had it.
Or wait.
Might be on multiples, because some of those shows are on like 2 or 3 services.
It might be on HBO through Hulu. I don't know.
Okay.
It's all over the place.
Whatever.
Yeah. Go watch
either way,
pieces of shit.
Yeah, or don't. Whatever.
Or don't.
I don't care.
Yeah, that's cool too. You don't have to. You're not all pieces of shit.
No.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I watched Peacemaker. The first 3 episodes had dropped on HBO Max, so I watched all 3 of those.
How is it? I've heard good things.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a weird show, but it's pretty funny.
Right.
Or there's good bits of comedy and stuff in there, and the characters have been a fun watch for sure. Do you know what's really fun about it to me is that you're playing in the superhero metahuman like universe, but the characters are not superheroes. It reminds me a little of like reading Six Pack by Garth Ennis a little bit, where those characters exist in a superhero world, but they're weird,
right,
deranged characters, and this one's a little like that too, as they're very strange strange characters. By far the best character on the show is Eagly, his eagle.
Eagly?
Eagly, yeah. So,
Wow.
Definitely. Well, when you watch the first episode, you'll see the intro, but the intro is worth, or the like opening song and dance number is well worth watching. It's kind of funny. So
Is it worth it though?
yeah,
Okay,
I've really enjoyed it.
Because
Yeah,
I enjoyed his character from Suicide Squad.
right.
You know,
It's so weird to me still seeing John Cena let loose.
how could you see him?
No, this is not the wrestling John Cena. This is actually John Cena.
Oh, okay.
So you only can't see the wrestler John Cena.
Oh, my bad. I don't
But
know the lore.
Well, there's like, I mean, without giving much away, there's one scene where he's dancing around just in his tighty whities, basically. And now people might go, yeah, but he was a pro wrestler. Slow down. He wore jorts most of the time. So,
yeah, that's true.
but from what I had heard of, all the stories I've heard of John Cena have been that he's like a robot, that he's rigid as far as like just you know, like there was that, oh shit, what's the name of that show, the WWE Divas or whatever,
Right.
reality show, and he had all these rules about for people who like lived in his house and all this kind of stuff. It made him sound like he was just a neurotic person, you know. And then you see him on something like this where he's literally just putting it all out there,
Right.
you know. And it's kind of a weird thing to see, you know. But definitely fun. It's you know, it's similar to The Rock a little bit too, right? Like you saw him on WWE and he's this, you know, always trying to be a badass kind of guy, and then the first time you see him in oh shit, what's it called, the sequel to Get Shorty? Too Cool, or
yes.
no, not Too Cool, Be Cool.
Be Cool.
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull him up right now.
You know, where he's in that like powder blue suit and he's singing These Boots Are Made for Walking. You know, it's
Hell
like
yeah.
when you really see him fully kind of let go and start being more of a comedic actor, it's a lot of
that was good.
yeah. So yeah, but definitely watch it. I haven't watched, I think episode 4, I think it dropped last night or tonight or something. I can't remember what day of the week it drops. Because I know on Tuesday is new Boba Fett, because I haven't watched the newest one yet. Because I actually forgot. So I got to catch up on that one.
Oh, we watched it. Yeah, I'm caught up. Not this week's, but I watched last week's.
Okay. So you're as far as I am on
episode 3,
okay.
Right?
Yep.
With
this week would be
with Machete.
Yeah, that was last week. Okay. So this week's a new one. Yeah. So, well, let's talk about that a little bit. What do you think of that?
I mean, as the series progresses, I'm enjoying it more. You know, because like when I first started watching, I was like, I don't know what to make of this. It's not really like hooking me like Mandalorian did, and I still think The Mandalorian's a better show.
I think The Mandalorian is a much better show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think this is a bad show, but you're right. There's nothing so far that's really hooking me. Although, in fairness, there's no big mystery in this kind of the way that there is in the Mandalorian. We're like, what's going on with the child? You know, what's his?
I mean, even down to like we were discussing this while we were watching Boba Fett. Like we both enjoyed a from the Mandalorian way better than that Book of Boba Fett has.
Yeah, I agree.
But I'm just saying.
Yeah, there's some stuff that is weird to me in the show that I don't think is ever going to make sense to me, because really it doesn't make any sense. Essentially, that every time they want to do something, that Boba Fett and oh shit, I can't think of her name now. It's Ming-Na Wen, the woman who's with him. I can't think of
something Shard.
You know, like they always go, like they always go. They don't send on, you know, people in their stead. It's always them going to, you know. It's like Jabba never, you know, rarely ever was like, all right, take me over there, you know.
Yeah.
He would just send some toughs over to, you know, handle the business.
I'm not gonna be like my turd cousins and be carried around town all day.
Right. Although I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like the twins.
Yeah, I'm not mad at the twins either.
I love how as they're talking to him, they're just like eating chickens and shit.
I mean, I think the thing that makes me laugh the most is their litter they get carried on is like bowed in the middle.
Yeah.
Makes me feel so bad for those people.
You know, one major complaint that I have for this show was it did something that The Mandalorian has not, I don't think, done so far. In that, one of the things I love about The Mandalorian and the newer Star Wars movies is that they try to use practical effects as much as possible.
Yes.
And those scooters in the new episode, I don't care about the colors. I know a lot of people had issues with them being rainbow colors, but
I enjoyed the fact they had colors.
I didn't
They
care,
reminded me
honestly.
of just like street kids like decking out their rides. That's
Right.
what I'm like, and they had like weird mirrors and shit on them. I'm like, yeah, that's what fucking punk kids would do.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Like I said, that didn't bother me at all. But there were some of the scenes with them on them that were super CG, and it was like it took me out of it a little bit. But it's like I understand they kind of have to be, right? But also I was like, do they not have the budget of The Mandalorian?
Yeah, I don't know. You think they would, considering the same guys are involved? And Robert Rodriguez?
Well, because you watch the like train scene with the sand troopers. They got all those speeder bikes, and I don't think there were really any point where I was like, ooh, that looks real CG.
Yeah.
But those scooters, there were a couple of the scenes where they were zipping in and out of stuff that I'm like, ooh, this looks prequel slick.
Yeah.
You know, and it, like I said, kind of took me out a little bit because I know the way they're shooting this because I've watched the documentary on it, you know, to where they try really hard to make it look real.
Right.
So, you know, but again, if that's your nitpick, right? You know, that's not that big a nitpick.
I mean,
yeah. So, you know, spoilers, I guess at this point, if you haven't already guessed, but what'd you think of the character from the Darth Vader comic book that showed up, Black Kirsten, or I can't remember how to say his name.
Well, fucking dope, coolest Wookiee ever.
The Black Wookiee that shows up, yeah.
Chewbacca's pretty dope, but this guy is way better.
Yeah. Because that's a great character in that comic. You know, I mean, it's not my favorite character in the comic because the favorite character in the Darth Vader comics is the the droid,
right?
The one that's the murderous droid.
Oh yeah.
That character is by far my favorite
the
character.
Droid. It reminds me so much of from Knights of the Republic. There's an assassin droid. It's like, you know, let's go kill these meat bags or whatever.
Yeah. I love that character so much. I was really surprised though, like because I said I saw like a comic book. I told you, you know, a comic book shop friend of ours posted, "Hey, Darth Vader #1's probably going to go up after this new one," and I'm like, and I'm trying to think back, and I'm like, what characters made their first? And I'm thinking Dr. Afra and the two droids. I totally forgot about Black
whatever.
God. Kuristan or something like that. It bugs me. I got to look it up because I can't remember. Kursantan. It's Krrsantan. So, yeah, something like that. Nicknamed Santi, BK or Black K by Dr. Afra, or Santo by Garza Flip.
I am Santo.
What? Yeah, loved seeing that character. That was pretty cool because you know, especially, I mean, you know, in that last episode where he just grabs Boba Fett out of the back of the tank and starts throwing him around in his underpants.
Yeah,
you know?
Speaking of tighty whities.
Right. I really like the backstory they set up with him and the Tusken Raiders, though. Although I'm not sure I want to feel sympathetic for the Tusken Raiders. I'm not sure how I feel about that either. Because you've always seen the Tusken Raiders as like the, you know, scourge of the desert, basically. Now we're supposed to feel like they're just people, you know?
How dare they?
Yeah. They're just like me, except they have, you know, staffs and
I mean, the
banthas.
way I fucking just like people. The way I saw what they're trying to do with the Tusken Raiders is it was like, so say Star Wars was like an old-timey cowboy movie. And it's the cowboys just shooting at Indians. You know, and I think this angle is like, you know, they're kind of like the natives of Tatooine.
You're 100% right. And that is actually, I didn't thought about that. I think you nailed that analogy. You know? Because think, what is the Mandalorian? Yeah. It's a spaghetti Western. And this is trying to kind of be a spaghetti Western. Even though I'm still not sure how I feel about the fact that I don't hate Boba Fett. I feel like I should not like Boba Fett.
He's coming across like a really nice guy. And it's weird.
Yeah, maybe he's just changed. You know, he's changed over the years. You know, he's not a bounty hunter anymore. Right. And he's not, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand.
You know what it is? No, do you know what it is? Okay, The Mandalorian's a spaghetti Western. This movie is a little more like Kung Fu, The Legend Continues, or Kung Fu, right? In that, well, he's the guy who used to be the fighter, but now he's more of the sage. He still fights when he has to, but he's also, you know, he's more about wisdom and not, you know, necessarily, because you notice how many times he had the opportunity to just shoot somebody and he doesn't. A bounty hunter would probably just shot him. You know, you're no longer of need to me. Boom, dead. You know, I don't.
I mean,
you know, if that's Cad Bane, that guy's not. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
It's just, I'm the same way. Like, I've been expecting, like, some shit to go down.
Like, waiting for him to do something, right? Yeah, but then he pets the Rancor, and he's basically making out with him. You know,
oh, he's a good
just getting
boy.
all in there. Yeah, and I'm like, what do you do? Now I'm not supposed to hate the Rancor? I mean, what the hell, man? I don't.
Yeah, I feel like at some point in this series, there's going to be something that happens that you're going to see Boba Fett go off.
Right, the Rancor. That's what it's going to be. I'm calling it right now. He's going to grow super close to it. Someone's going to kill his Rancor, and then he's going to just lose his shit.
We're going along the lines of Westerns here, right? You remember that Eastwood movie, Unforgiven? And he was like this like feared gunfighter, and the whole movie he doesn't do shit. And then the end of the movie, he massacres a saloon full of people.
You know, that's actually that might be where they're going. I've seen a lot of people think there's that one Tusken Raider that they keep showing. It's the female Tusken Raider that they showed, and every time they showed that character, if you think about it, the shot is an isolation shot. It's that one by itself, and then, you know, again, spoilers, once that whole village is essentially eradicated, maybe they blame him for it, and they're the one coming after him.
See,
you know,
because like
I've seen a lot of thoughts that might be where it's
in that episode when he came back from whatever he was doing on his Bantha. And the village was like wiped out. Well, spoilers, everybody. Sorry.
No. Listen, he was doing Bantha.
He was out there doing
Bantha.
He's out there in the desert doing Bantha donuts and shit.
Yeah.
Break these paws loose.
He's out there. He's like, yip yip. Why isn't it flying?
Yeah, I don't understand.
I don't get it.
But I like when that scene happened, and he was like, especially when he pulled out like the little child's stick and threw it in the fire.
Oh, I know, right?
I'm like, Jesus. Oh, people are gonna get fucked up, and that never happened.
Right?
And maybe because that is towards it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all
they are. Sooner or later, you know? Right. Sooner or later, he's gonna cross paths with that gang again.
It's just.
But in fairness,
sooner or later, when does he get his armor back? Because in the first episode, the Jawas took all his shit.
Oh, well, yeah, and he doesn't get it. Well, he gets it back in The Mandalorian. That's when he finally got it back.
Yeah, you're right. Duh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so we're still a long way. It feels in the flashback stuff from current times.
Yeah,
like,
no, you're right.
There still feels like there's a lot. But it makes you wonder, like, how long does he wander the desert? You know, like I said, Kung Fu. Right? He's the wandering guy.
Yeah.
And think about it. He goes to that stick before he goes to his gun most of his time.
That's true.
He doesn't use his flamethrower all that much. You know, he's very, you know, he seems less like a Mandalorian and more like a
Tusken Raider.
Yeah, really. Yeah. That's really what it is. So it's very, very interesting, though. Like I said, there's a lot of things in there that I'm curious of the answers and stuff too.
Oh, yeah, same.
I can't, and most of the nitpicks that I've brought up are more just me kind of, like I said, like, what, like, I'm supposed to like the Rancor now? Like, I don't know how I feel about that, kind of thing. But
I the same.
I'm just so,
Although
I'm mostly thinking about that.
I was talking about it when we were watching it, because Michelle's not a huge Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh shit, he's got a Rancor. And she's like, a what? And I'm like, from Return of Jedi. And
he paid 1 green, he gets +2/+0, and if it goes to the graveyard, it comes back to your hand.
Exactly.
Duh. Yeah.
But and I'm like, and I was like, and it hit me. I was like, the thing that always made me feel bad in Return of Jedi is when they drop the gate on the Rancor and it kills it, and then that Rancor trainer's like,
yeah,
and I was like,
right?
oh man, he loved that thing,
right? And
now it
you
kind of
hear
makes sense.
Oh man, I know it does. I do appreciate the payoff on that, because that's one of those, like, that's a thing for fans. Because honestly, I didn't really think about that until I was reading something online and they brought it up, and I was like, oh, I forgot about that scene. I was like, that's so true. That makes that scene so much more poignant.
Also, when they zoomed in on the Rancor's face, I'm like, oh, bomber, you're in the movies. Totally has a bomber face.
You didn't know Bomber's doing stunts for
I know.
Star
I
Wars.
didn't know he 3D scanned her mug.
Just wait till them checks start rolling
right.
in, Nice. Oh man.
Yeah, I do enjoy it, but I mean, the Mandalorian like caught me immediately, and this is kind of it feels like a slower build.
Yeah. I do think, like I said, I really do think, I mean, again, with this, I don't feel like there's this giant mystery. The only real mystery was, how did Boba Fett survive? Well, in the first episode, they solved that for you.
I mean, Patton Oswalt spelled it out in Parks and Rec or whatever that was.
He did, 100%. Yeah. That is really funny when you go back and see that, is they really did basically, what's funny is it would be great if Jon Favreau and was it Dave Filoni, I think it is, that are the two main guys on this, if they were like actually, yeah, we saw that episode and we're like, that actually makes a lot of sense.
I thought there was a Boba Fett comic book from Dark Horse that's
okay. I couldn't tell you honestly because I haven't read a lot of that stuff.
I thought there. Let me. Okay, I'm looking.
Like I said, I'm not the biggest Star Wars nerd out there, so.
Boba Fett, Dark Horse.
You're probably right that there was. I know there was a series, but I don't remember where it was. When it was set, basically.
Yeah, I thought that's what they did with him in that though. Is he like you see his gauntlet come out of sand or whatever?
That would make sense because I know, like, for a long time, Disney would, or Lucasfilm, whatever, neither would confirm or deny that Boba Fett actually, like, as far as making it canon,
right?
Because remember, for the longest time, for anyone who's not aware, especially after Disney bought Lucasfilms, they were very much like, well, anything that happened in the novels and comics may or may not have happened, and basically we'll pick and choose as we go forward.
Right.
So, they kind of, you never knew for sure what was going to be canon in that stuff.
So it looks like from the Dark Horse books, looks like he jetpacked out of the Sarlacc.
Okay, so that's a little different because he didn't jetpack out of him.
Yeah, it's definitely different. So basically what Patton Oswalt did in Parks and Rec was what they just took, which is fine.
Pretty bang on. Yeah, which I think is funny. And like I said, I'd love to see them sit down and have someone ask them and be like, oh, yeah, that's totally where we got it from.
Yeah, I would love that too.
Like 100%. We thought it was great, so we just went with it.
Full send.
Because it does make sense that as much of a badass as we were led to believe, but much like later on when you find out that Darth Maul didn't die in the prequels, he actually just kind of goes away for a while. He gets saved, he gets robot legs, and then
too angry to die, from what I understand.
Yeah, and becomes a real badass and a crime lord throughout, the lore as time goes on. So it's he actually finally becomes kind of the character he should have been a little more, instead of just, hey, I showed up. Oh, geez, now I'm cutting twine,
Yeah, he was one of those characters they shouldn't have killed in episode 1 because he was such a badass.
Yeah. Yeah. They should have at least let him survive to episode 2.
Something.
Then killed him. Yeah. Like in the very first scene of the second movie.
He's like, ha!
Can you imagine how mad people would have been at the very first scene or something? Something's going on, and then you just see Obi-Wan just cut him in half, and everybody, you know, setting the tone for the next 2
like
hours.
Obi-Wan walks into, Star Wars version of a 7-Eleven, and Darth Maul's just working the counter.
Oh, I was thinking he walks into like a bathroom, Darth Maul's just relieving himself, and he's just like, well, no better time than now.
Does the uncomfortable stand right next to you at the urinal thing. Nice lightsaber. Yep. Cuts him in half.
Yep. Oh, jeez. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting watching shows like, the Disney show or the Star Wars shows, because there's times where like something will happen and I'm like, well, time to head to the Wikipedia because I don't know the answer to that type of a thing. Some of it I do know, some of it I don't know. Like when they make that reference in one of the episodes that you can't just kill a Hutt, and I was like, why? And then when I read why, it's like, oh, there's like a couple crime families throughout the galaxy that are like untouchable, and the Hutts are one of them, basically. And if you kill them, you're basically starting some shit you don't want to start.
It's like The Sopranos.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense, that it's similar in how you're protected in the mob and stuff. So, okay. But I didn't know,
Right.
like, I was like, well, I don't know a lot about Jabba. All I know is Jabba, he just kind of sat there eating, and Salacious Crumb sat there, and then, he had a bikini chick for a while, and
right.
Then he was dead.
Good.
It's basically all I know about Jabba.
His glory days.
Yeah. just a montage of all that stuff going on with, some Bruce Springsteen in the background.
Hell yeah. Him on his like sail barge cruising the Tuscan or the desert sea, whatever the fuck they call it. I can't remember what they call it now.
Yeah, he's the wind in its jowls, and
got big ass aviators on.
Right. Half a chicken hanging off his face because it's just a slob.
Yeah.
But yeah,
like most rich guys you see on yachts, grossly overweight, surrounded by women.
Yeah, of course. Right. He's got a little captain's hat on.
Hell yeah, he does.
Oh man, good shit.
I love it. Bro. I'm so glad YouTube exists.
Okay.
Salty Language Pod on YouTube.
Nice.
Although our video got fucked up, so there's no video for last week.
Yeah, way to go.
Shit happens. But I had such a zipper malfunction today.
Okay.
And YouTube helped me fix it.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm at work, like end of the day at work. I'm like, let me take my last leak on the clock before I hit the road, because I'm getting paid for that.
Hard. Right, pissing hard.
Yep. And I go to like zip up the zipper, and I realized when I zipped down, because I was doing the old through the hatch maneuver.
Right. As long as this doesn't turn into a Franks and Beans
there's no
story.
Franks and Beans here.
Like, oh boy.
But when I zipped down, I somehow like caught some part of my undies. I don't know how.
Oh, I've done that before.
And I couldn't get it. Like I hear people clocking out, and I'm like, I'm tired. I want to go home. I gotta like shower and leave because I got a conference.
Yeah,
and I can't zip up. It's just caught, and so I'm just finally just like Hulk rage,
right?
As I do, because break shit.
Now, once again, I gotta point out, this is another good reason to always wear darks if you're wearing dark pants.
Oh yeah,
because if you had to.
Oh yeah, I mean my pants are black.
Yeah, if you had
to. The pissing was done.
No, I'm just meaning that way, like if you couldn't get the zipper back up, you could just leave it down and leave.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it wouldn't be like if you had pink underdrawers on.
Yeah, well, that's true. But so
like, what the hell's going on? Jeez.
So I said, like, fuck it. I'm wrenching these undies out of the zipper.
Yeah.
And so, and it's the ones I'm currently wearing, which will be going in the garbage. Big ass hole in the front hatch. And I completely like ripped the zipper off the teeth.
Oh wow. Dang,
like it was
you really
caught
went
up in there.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
So now I'm like, fuck, I got 2 pairs of work pants, you know?
You just buy some Velcro.
Well, I, got home and I started looking on YouTube because I'm one of those people. We've got like an area in our shower that really doesn't get wet. I put on videos when I'm showering.
Okay.
Because, I got to be entertained constantly, Brian.
Sure.
I can't sit there with my own thoughts.
No, I understand. Okay. Yeah. Right.
But I'm like, all right, I'm watching this woman fix zippers.
Yeah, she is.
And
oddly enough, she's only fixing them down.
Yeah, I had to like cut stitches and disassemble shit and get pliers out. Nice. And
you should have just got your staple gun out and fix it.
It was a whole situation, but I'll be happy to say that zipper's functioning again.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Nice. All right.
Thank you, YouTube, and thank you, DIY. Tailor it yourself.
All right. Well, that's good to know because, I did that one day at work when I worked at Hollywood Video.
Yeah.
And that was before the always wear darks era of my life. So I was wearing red boxers and, black Dockers basically. Right. And I got all up in there and I could not get them back out of it. And honestly, what I did was I took a stapler and just stapled the flyback shut.
Yes.
I took them off, and then put them back on, I was running the risk the rest of the night that I'd catch a staple in the wrong area.
I had that happen once when I was doing delivery work for Metzger still. And I was hauling boxes up somewhere or whatever. And I just completely blew out my ass in my shorts. And I was just like, fuck it. And I just drove to Target and just walked in with my ass hanging out, and bought a new pair of shorts.
All right. You got me beat on that one because, again, at Hollywood, I blew out I had an old pair of Dockers that were oh shit, I forgot to do laundry, but I got this pair as just in case. I still need work pants. So I threw those on and went to work and blew them out in the first hour. But I called my dad and was like, hey, can you run over to Target for me?
Yeah, I had nothing else I could do. I was like, whatever. Yeah. I guess people get to see my boxer briefs.
Right. What are you going to do, right? You got to blow out. You got to blow out. Yeah. Hope you have a long shirt on. That's about the best you can hope for. I
untucked my polo shirt I was wearing to give a little more coverage. Yeah.
Right. It's about all you can do,
And nothing more awkward than half bent over in the back of a delivery van with no pants on, putting on freshies.
Right. Why didn't you just go in the bathroom?
Because I always feel weird about buying stuff, and I don't know, because I'm.
Well, you'd have a receipt
but I'm fucking
on you
weird.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm good. Just get me out of here.
Why should I use the room that has some privacy when I can just go out to my?
Yeah, it's got tinted windows in the back. We'll be all right. Where all the magic happens.
As long as you're not going commando.
Yeah, no, exactly.
You're probably
no.
So, yeah. Hell, even if you just stood there and changed, if somebody said something, just be like, "Hey, what am I gonna do? I blew them out."
Take a picture, lasts longer. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's right.
Sure. Yeah, I've never had I've had a zipper get caught up on some fabric and you free it up. That's the first time I've never been able to free it.
Yeah, that's the only one time I've caught boxers or whatever, or what's funny? I think about it since I switched to the old boxer briefs. I haven't had that issue. Back when I wore boxers all the time, I had it happen off and on.
I got these
because they kind of punch up
super light, because I'm at work. I'm like, my shit's got to breathe.
What are you wearing, Muay Thai shorts? Those ones with the deep slit up the leg.
It was something I bought off Amazon because I'm like, I need something for the summertime. They're called 32 Cool or some bullshit. Because they're supposed to breathe and sweat wick, and Under Armour's expensive, is what I'm saying.
Ultra bikini cut, I get you.
Yeah, exactly. High waisted thong.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you just see the waist up above the pant line. You don't have a whale tail, but it's you just have that one line down the back.
Like those really high hipped 80s bikini bottoms.
Yeah, it's a good look.
Yeah, basically, like I said, these are going right in the trash when it's time to, go to bed because it looks like I got assaulted by a tiny chihuahua or something.
You might have.
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be a good story.
I'm at the point in my life now where if like once upon a time, if a sock had like a little hole in it, I'm like, we'll hang on to it.
Sure.
It's still got some miles in this tread.
Absolutely.
If it's got a hole now, it goes right in the trash.
I'm not going to lie. I'm almost to that point, but I'm that one step from that, which is there's still that light rotation, which is like, all right, you know, something's got a little tear here and there. That's just a wear at home situation.
Oh, see, I like my
if
socks.
I'm leaving the house, forget it.
My socks that I wear at home, they don't have holes because they don't get abused. It's my work socks that get fucked up.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
So once there's a hole in those, I'm like, nope, you're gone.
Well, I didn't so much mean socks. I was meaning like, you know, underwear, pants, stuff like that. It's like I'm a little more liberal about like what, you know, like if I know I'm going to be home, you know, it's like, oh, if I have to go somewhere, I'll just change or something.
Right,
but if I'm just sitting around the house, you know, it's like there's still 90, 95% or 85%. It's like I'll still hang on to them. But once they dip below that, it's like, all right, it's time. I just did that with my like after Christmas with my underbritches. I was like, okay, it's time for the rotation to shift here because
we got to rotate a class out, hang up some jerseys.
You know how it is. Like, you know, after a while, the elastic doesn't hold right or whatever it is with them. They're not comfortable. You know, it's like, it's just time.
Yeah.
New underpants are soft. They're nice.
I know, right? The cup, lift,
old
and
ones
separate.
after a while. Yeah, you know, it's like, just treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
I threw out a bunch of socks because I was doing what you were saying. It's like I had a bunch where, I mean, I had some with I'm like, this doesn't even have a like heel in it anymore. Like, why do I have this?
What is this? An elbow guard?
Yeah.
A brace for something? I don't even understand.
Oh, it's a sock. Okay. Yeah. So finally, just, you know, bought some new socks and just, you know, went through, like I just done my laundry and just went through them and just like, okay, just trash.
Oh yeah, I hear you.
Forget it.
Yeah, like get I'm done with this shit. Out of here, you rascals.
Yep. That's right. I mean, I ain't gonna sit around and darn them or anything, you know.
No,
that's for sure.
No, hell no. The only thing I attempt to save is like, because I don't have very many jeans. If my jeans start going sideways, I will put some work in to save those.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I got some good jeans.
Yeah. Well, luckily also, you know, we live in a time when, you know, rips in the jeans is in again.
That's
so true. You can get away with a little bit that maybe you couldn't before, well, even though, you know.
I've been in the market for a sewing machine.
Oh, no.
Well, because it's like.
You're finally going to upgrade from the Bedazzler.
Hell yeah, brother. Well, it's one of those things where it's like, not like I'm sewing every day or whatever, but it's enough that I'm like, it would be nice to have, just be like, and you're done.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when you go buy like a power tool, like, oh, I don't have to handsaw shit anymore. This is cool.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's that same idea, but at work now, I used to have an apron that had like a big like kangaroo pouch and store shit in it.
Right. Said kiss the chef.
Yeah. I get you. I should have wrote that. I just wrote bag of holding on it.
That's good though too. Yeah. I like that.
But now what I have to do now is I have to wear chaps.
Nice.
Right? And I have zero storage and I need to have a pen on me at all times.
Well, use Nature's Pocket.
I mean, fair enough. So what I did, which is a code 2, is I poked a little hole where I have multiple layers of fabric, and that's where my pen slides in now.
Oh, okay.
You know, but I'm like, it's like a holster, and I'm like, legitimately, if I could get some fabric, I could put something together. It's like a pen holder, and just stitch it right to this.
Right.
It's not affecting the durability. It's actually adding more layers.
Right. You're just gonna sew a pocket protector on it.
I mean, basically.
Yeah.
So I've been really thinking about like just biting a bullet, getting a sewing machine, and just modifying my chaps to make it easier on me.
I just like the term modifying my chaps because for getting context, it's great. You know, because like,
yeah, you're not wrong.
Like, what are you doing?
I know it's going to suck in the summertime too, because everyone says that because they're like thick fabric, because you know they're cut resistant.
Sure. Yeah, they're there for safety.
Yeah, so in the summertime, it's gonna suck.
But yeah, well, just stop wearing pants under them.
Like, duh, you guys ever heard assless chaps?
Yeah, duh. I'm sure the company won't mind.
Like, what are you talking about? Whatever.
Yeah, like Tony, I got to talk to you over here. It's your boss. You know, it's like This is the 5th time this week I've talked to you about having your ass hanging out.
Like hot, right?
At least wear some shorts. Like, you gotta go. Like, we're tired of seeing your fruit bowl. And we're tired of having to throw furniture away.
Oh, no, I don't throw anything away there. They just wipe it down, like, whatever.
Yeah. If you're lucky, yeah. Actually, that would be the talk you'd get. Be like, we've told you, you have to wipe down the equipment after you use it.
Treat it like a gym.
Yeah, we are tired of seeing the outline of your sack on the benches. All right, fine.
Oh, man.
Ooh.
I know, right?
Man. So did you see they finally gave us a premiere date for Picard Season 2?
I did not see that.
Yeah, March 3rd.
Oh, that's like right
much
around the
sooner.
corner.
Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, I'm going to wait until the season's done and then get Paramount Plus again so I can watch all of Picard and Lower Decks and anything else I want to watch on there, you know, because I can do all that in a month, you know, so I don't have to keep it for 2 or 3 months until the season's over. I'll just wait till the end.
Right.
But pretty excited because, you know, again, Q is in this season, so I can't wait for that.
Like the Q we're dealing with right now in our country?
No. This was a Q that, you know, was one I enjoyed watching.
I agree. I always liked Q from Next Gen.
Me too.
And didn't he go into like Deep Space Nine and stuff too?
Did
he cross over? I can't remember.
I know. I feel like he was on another show, and I don't know if it was that one or if it was.
Yeah, I feel like he crossed over somewhere as well.
Right. But yeah, John Delancey is. I read an interview with him to where he was like, "Yeah, it was real easy." He's like, because basically he's like, you know, I'm just playing a jerk. He's like, so basically I'm just playing myself.
I'm just an asshole.
Yeah. And he's like, no, he's like, really though, this character's easy to slip back into because, you know, he's, you know, really just a jerk basically. So I bet it's a lot of fun to play that too.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
So, curious to see what they do with it in context to, you know, kind of where Picard is and stuff. And I think the Borg is supposed to be in this season again too, because they're in the first season, but I think they're supposed to be a little more prominent in this one too. So curious. Curious. Yeah. Definitely can't wait. Definitely.
Now speaking of waiting, how long,
the movie?
Brian,
would
you wait for a dragon-shaped bucket of popcorn?
Oh, this, yeah.
Oh, you've seen this.
I have, yeah. I wouldn't. Well, let's be fair. If the wait wasn't long, I would definitely wait for one. If it was like 250,000 people, I would not wait for one.
I mean, it is an adorable popcorn bucket.
It is. It's what Figment's the name of the dragon. It's the mascot of Epcot Center and the dragon. Oh, it was in something too, wasn't it?
That I don't know.
I don't remember. Anyway, it is. It's a really nicely done bucket, and it's pretty cool. And I'm sure they go for quite a bit on eBay.
But would you wait 7 hours for one?
Not a chance.
What? That shit's crazy. Because that's what people were doing, apparently.
Did you see the videos of the people, like, when they opened the gates, rushing to get in line for this?
I didn't see that.
Oh, my God. It looked like it was Black Friday.
Oh, that just makes me sad.
Yeah.
Oh, and it cost $25.
Well, and that's the thing is, you know, part of those people are just the Disney heads that just want one. And then there's, of course, going to be people wanting to sell them.
Yes.
You know?
It says some, according to this article I got here, it says some were recorded as to be as high, but not sold on eBay as $1,000. But buckets are selling for about $200.
Okay. I was just going to say, I just pulled it up on eBay, and I was going to say they've come down a lot, because I remember reading that they were going for like $2,000 too. It looks like, from what I'm looking at here, most of the recent ones have ended around 125. Like 100 to 125 seems to be the going rate now. Right. which is still more than I would want to pay for one. But I can see somebody paying for, yeah, I can see someone paying that for a, you know, a collectible kind of thing. But yeah, that's
I think it's wild.
The lines and stuff is more of what got me. The price on stuff I don't really think much of, because, you know, you've done it too. We've dealt with collectibles enough in our lives that how many stupid things have we collected or been part of that have gone for insane money?
Yeah.
And we've either paid for some of those things, maybe not crazy prices, but, you know, enough.
I mean, there was a TikTok I started watching yesterday, and I just couldn't watch it anymore. It was an Antiques Roadshow, and it was this woman talking about her ex-husband, and she had a binder with the Power 9. And she had no idea what it was.
Oh, geez.
You know, and I'm like, I can't even watch this because it's going to make me sick. You know, one, she's clueless. Two, it's her ex-husband's.
Yeah. Well, at least she didn't just sell it to somebody for like $25 or something. Because when we had our place, there was a woman that came in with some comic books that she had some like early Silver Age, maybe even into Golden Age, but it was definitely Silver Age stuff. And she was wanting like $50 for the box. And I just couldn't steal from her.
Like, let me get my tape measure. We only buy by the inch here.
Right. Yeah. 5 cents an inch. Yeah.
The Perry rule. I love it.
That woman had a few grand worth of books in there, and I just couldn't do it because I know we're a business, but man, I don't want to be that business, you know? And so, yeah, I made her a more reasonable offer and told her what they were actually worth. And I told her, I told her a better shop in town to probably get more money out of, because I was just like, and actually it wasn't her ex-husband. I take that back. It was her deceased husband's books, but she had no clue. I mean, I seriously probably could have got the box for $50. And like I said, I know there's probably people listening going, why didn't you? And it's like, because if someone did that, well, because if someone did that to like my mom, I'd be furious.
Yeah, for sure. You know, right.
Come on. At least make a reasonable, at least say, hey, I can't do that. You got like $5,000 worth of books here. Let me make you a reasonable offer on these. At least,
you got to start it like this. You dumb bitch.
You're right. Or let's set up a consignment deal or something, you know. That way, if I sell them, I get a little taste. You get a taste. Everybody's happy, Maybe that's why we're not in business anymore. I don't know.
Maybe.
Teach me to be honest. No, I
get it.
Yeah, I the amount of money that I'm sure those cards are worth now is disgusting because people keep getting them graded.
Yeah, that's why it's like I started watching it and just listening to her talk about, and he traded for some and he bought some and the guy, and it's just like, and they keep like panning over the binder page. And I'm like, I'm
don't
swiping
even have to
up.
be
I can't even
shape.
finish this.
Yeah. And they don't even have to be in good shape to be worth thousands of dollars. It's just obviously the better shape they're in, the more they're worth, because people are looking mostly to get shit like that graded now. It's not even like it used to be. Like, dude, I sold a couple used video games on eBay about a month ago, and the person got them. And they were like, well, you said these were like new and they're blah, blah, blah. They're scratches. And I'm like, well, yeah, they're used, but they play great.
Yeah.
And they're not like heavily scratched. There's just some scratches from just, the system, putting them in and out of the tray that, just normal wear shit.
Wear and tear.
But they play great. I wouldn't have put them on if they didn't play, because I wouldn't do that to somebody. Again, see previous example about stealing from a woman when I could have made thousands of dollars. Right. And then it was like, oh yeah, that's right. People are collecting these now differently than like when I've bought games on eBay. I'm buying them because I want to play the game. There's a lot of people who are buying them because they're collecting the games more so now than they used to. And so it's like, oh yeah, I got to remember that now, because now, once you realize people are collecting something as a collectible, the amount of shit they want to know about it changes.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you're buying a used video game, you look at like if you're in GameStop, right? Or any used store, you're going to look at it and go, okay, it doesn't look like whenever we used to buy used games from GameStop, we'd always look at the game before we would leave. Yeah. hey, this thing looks toe up. Can you give me another one?
Was this thing assaulted by a zipper?
Yeah. Was this Tony's boxer shorts? So, and that was it. It's like, does it work? Is it tore to hell? Basically, it was all we really cared about.
You're not wrong.
And now it's a little different. Does it have the original book in it? Is the case itself in decent shape? Is I get all these questions now, and it's like, ugh. It's like, I don't even want to fool with this now. And I used to sell games on eBay, used games that I had bought, because I'd get more for them than if I go into GameStop. But now I got to deal with a bunch of shit that GameStop doesn't care about. Right. But they're only going to give me like a nickel a game.
Say, best we can give you is 10 cents.
Yeah, for all of them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I brought in 50 games. Yep.
Yeah. I might as well have a garage sale and put $1 on each one. I'll make more money.
That is a good move. Because then if someone comes up and is like, hey, this game's scratched, be like, and? You're at a garage sale, stupid.
Yeah, you can look at it and tell. Just don't buy it.
How about you meet me in the backyard? We'll discuss.
Yeah, you, me, and my shovel will have a conversation.
Bang!
No, yeah. The digging sounds.
God, people suck.
Yep. That's why I was saying somebody before is like, if something's out there now that's a collectible, if it can be graded, the market's probably ballooned on it now, or like I told you before we recorded, I have a Moon Knight pop, and they dropped that sexy trailer the other night during the one football game at halftime. And like that night, the pop went from being like a $30 pop to like an $80 pop, and some people asking for up to $150 for them on eBay now. And it's like, geez, I'm crow, like glad I already got that one. Because it's funny because it took me a little time to get it, because every Walgreens I went to, the boxes were damaged, including one looking like someone just ripped the whole flap off the top of it. Don't get me wrong, those would still be valuable, because as long as the pop itself is in good shape, it still has value. But like, geez, I'm trying to get at least an acceptable one here.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's I'll have the link to the Moon Knight trailer in the notes if anybody hasn't seen it. I know this is going to be one of those characters a lot of people don't know about.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because even though Moon Knight's been around since the 70s or 60s, a lot of people don't know much about that character. My brother liked Moon Knight, so I read various Moon Knight books when I was a kid, and I've always kind of liked the character because the whole he's not really sure which world he kind of lives in, and they did the thing where he's in like a psych ward, and he's seeing like Egyptian gods and enemies and all this stuff, and he's seeing people that on one hand are the orderlies in the hospital, but then they're enemies because that's how he's seeing them. And for a while you're kind of like, is he just crazy, or is this actually
right?
It's a little like the Matrix, right? Like in how you see the one things, and then you're like, wait, they're all Agent Smith, kind of a thing type, or whatever. So yeah. Although I will say this, dude, the British accent in the trailer is not good.
Oh yeah.
And I hope, I mean the show is already shot, so I'm sure it's going to be in there, but boy, it's not great. And a lot of people online have kind of attacked it for that, like right off the bat. But
right off the old rip there, huh?
Biggest surprise in the trailer is they give you a full shot of Moon Knight in costume.
Really?
I figured we'd have to wait till like the 7th episode out of 8 or something like that, like we have in most of the series.
Yeah.
You don't get to see the guy in the full-on gear until almost the end of the series. And then you're like, oh, yeah, that's right. This is Daredevil.
Oh, shit. I thought it was just some blind guy.
Yeah. So I was actually kind of surprised by that. They don't show you a lot of the Egyptian characters. There's one that they kind of show a little bit, but they don't show a lot of that, which is cool. I'm sure they'll reveal those, and it'll be fun to see. One of the things that I've kind of enjoyed about these Disney series is each week when they show a new character or new costume, like the very next day, Funko will be like, "Hey, here's new pops," because they're
guys.
Well, they can't put them out before that because it'll spoil the show.
Right.
So they announce them like the next day, basically, you know, like even in Hawkeye, like the Christmas sweater episode, they have pops of that, you know, and they showed them off like the day after. You watched Hawkeye, didn't you? No? God damn it. Okay.
Hey man, there's so much to watch. What are you going to do?
Can't you just, you know, you just got to fake sick for a week or two and catch up on everything.
I need someone with COVID to cough in my mouth.
Well, come on. Oh, no. God willing, I don't have COVID,
yeah,
but
there you go.
I mean, at least you could say you were exposed. No, you know, going back to that, that's one of the weirdest things about this is like really trying to go, okay, who was I around? Like, you know, if I were to test positive, who was I around so that I, you know, can at least let them know.
Yeah.
That way, if they've had any symptoms, they can go, oh, shit,
like,
you know.
It's like you have a herpes outbreak. Like,
yeah.
Hey,
I mean,
you might want to get tested.
I mean, I don't bother, but no.
So I got a question for you, Brian.
Yeah.
What do you think delicious Lay's potato chips grown in Lions Stadium soil would taste like?
Losing.
Losing, you say?
Yeah. I mean, what else? What other answer is there?
I mean, you're probably right.
Why is that?
Well, because Lay's has a contest going on right now.
Okay.
Where they took soil from a bunch of different NFL stadiums and they grew potatoes and made chips out of said potatoes.
Okay. That's weird. All right.
So if you want to attempt to win some Lions chips, you have to, you know, enter their sweepstakes.
Interesting. I should enter that.
You should. I'm not sure exactly how you enter, but when I scroll down, it gives the team and certain hashtags you got to use.
Yeah.
You want to just guess what your hashtags are for your lovely Detroit Lions?
Restore the roar?
Negative. There's 3.
No. Protect the den or something like that?
No.
No.
They're not that suck. Imaginative.
Lions suck.
You got hashtag Lions, hashtag Detroit, and hashtag One Pride.
Oh, I should have. Yeah, duh. I should have had the One Pride. They've used that one for a long time. Shame on me for not getting that one.
Yeah, so I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah.
I don't know why they would even taste any different.
That's what I was going to get at. Is like, I just don't see how they're not going to just taste like others, unless maybe there's a difference in the chips or the dirt. And I don't know.
Says, follow @Lays on Twitter and respond to our tweet with a video or an image that shows you're a biggest fan of your team. You might win one of our limited edition Golden Grounds bags.
Wow.
Yeah.
Golden Grounds, huh?
Golden Grounds, Brian.
You know, I saw something the other day that said Golden Grounds, and I was wondering what that was about. Because I thought it was something having to do with coffee, because grounds, you know.
Nah, just the, you know, lovely soil where grown-ass man get concussed.
Yeah. The soil where many tackles were missed.
These chips taste like memory loss.
Yay. I mean, you know, if you think about what edibles can be, I mean, or, you know, maybe a little, what do you call it, from the old mushrooms, the chemical from there, was it psilocybin? Scuba's penicillin?
Yes,
I don't know, whatever. Scooby-Doo. Yep.
Zippity-doo-dah, Christopher Reeves.
Wow, cool. Yeah, I'm certainly not going to make a video of why I'm the Lions' biggest fan, because I'm not. I know I'm not. I know there's some crazy person who has like their house painted like a Lions helmet.
Oh, exactly.
You know, like there's just no way. Yeah, I mean, I've been a fan for a little while, and you know, I've stuck with them through. Well, there's not been much good.
You just stuck with them.
I just stuck with them. Yeah. So.
So yeah, that's what Lay's Golden Grounds are, which it's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
But I really don't see how, if I have a 49ers chip and like a Bears chip, I really don't think they're going to taste any different.
Well, that's the other side of it is I would rather be able to have a sampling of different chips so I can see if there is a difference rather than just all one of the same. Because how am I going to know?
Yeah, I would love to have like a Division sampler pack.
Yeah.
Like that'd be cool.
Or at least give me a mix of the chips in there. I don't know. You stamp them or make them different color or something like that so that I don't know what.
Whatever.
Yeah. Nah, whatever. It's a gimmick. So, yeah.
Speaking of gimmicks,
fair.
I'm out of them.
All right. Do I have any more? Oh, I have a shut up and take my money. It's not really.
Take my money.
There you go.
So I saw this on an Instagram ad today, which, I try really hard to just ignore those.
So I'm gonna.
But it's currently
this and getting targeted now. Thank you.
Oh, damn it! It's currently unavailable. Those sold out fast.
What is it, man?
Okay, so earlier today I saw that Oscar Mayer has a baloney face mask.
Oh yeah, do they?
Because a lot of people as little kids would, bite out holes for your eyes and your mouth and then like hold the baloney over their face, I guess. This has not been something I did, but some people did. And, it's not baloney, and it's actually a like beauty face mask type thing, which this I love, which this one line on here says, treat yourself, meet yourself.
Wow. That is something.
I kind of wish I would have ordered them. They were only like $5. I almost ordered one earlier and I didn't. And now it says currently unavailable. So I don't know.
Is this from Oscar Mayer's website? You got this?
I'm on Amazon, and from their ad that was through their company, it directed you to Amazon for it.
Oh, that's because I kind of wanted to look at Oscar Mayer merch.
Oh, it wouldn't shock me if they have merch.
Yeah.
But this thing is terrifying. When you
yeah, it's extremely terrifying. I saw that.
This wearing it, like, ooh.
Going to OscarMayer.com.
It is like a legit type of thing. Like I said, part of the reason I was going to pull it up was because it was $5, but it looks like they is sold out through Amazon anyway. Oh. Maybe through their website. I don't know if they have any there or not. Also on the back, it says in very large letters, "Do not eat baloney masks."
Yeah, their website is just very focused on their shady meat.
Oh, all right. This is introducing a cold cut of self-care.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, do not eat baloney mask. That's what real baloney is for.
Yeah.
Disagree.
Damn it. How did he not have merch? Fuck you guys, Oscar Mayer.
I don't know. Like, how do you not have, like my baloney has a first name t-shirts and shit like
baloney pink socks. Pink sock. Nah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Wild.
And I'm really disappointed
because
honestly,
you got your beauty on.
I know. That'd have been great.
Do you think you have to like apply a nice sheen of mustard to get to stick to your face?
Probably, yeah. I imagine that's how it works.
Yeah, weird.
Witch hazel botanical and seaweed derived ingredients protect and hydrate. Collagens lock in moisture and promote skin elasticity. Baloney design includes unparalleled serotonin surges and a prolific amount of selfies. That's true, because if I got these, it'd be real tough to like. Part of me would want to like leave them closed because I really feel like this could be like a collectible down the road thing.
Oh, absolutely.
But also, I would totally want to rip one of them open and put one on.
Also that.
Except for one thing, which is that I have a beard. So I'd be terrified I might rip my beard out.
Yeah, I've never done the face mask thing, so I'm not sure how that works.
Yeah.
But, Brian, I do shave my head. I could just put it up top.
Put it on the back of your head.
Wear it like a yarmulke?
No. I mean, like on the back, like if you had a face on the back
could
of your
do
head.
that.
Be terrifying.
Like, why is there a face of fresh skin on the back of your head? Mm-hmm, that's where I put my baloney mask.
That was the last person who sassed me. Yeah.
It also sounds like some sort of weird sex move. I hit her with the old baloney mask.
It really does. Yeah. Yikes. Yikes. So, yeah. Well,
that's something. Well, I mean,
here I was.
I'm not sure if it's one of these.
Shut up and take my money.
Or if it's one of these.
Yes, science.
I don't know.
Yeah. A little both, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is also one of those things that at $5, I had thought about buying and maybe sending to some people.
I mean, that would be great, actually.
Like, hey, you know what make you look better?
Christmas card.
Yeah. You know what make you look better? Some baloney on your face.
Yeah.
Wink. So there you go. That's. I think that's all the gimmicks I got then.
Yeah, right on. Should we shove to our standard gimmick, the QoftheW?
Yeah. Yeah. I would think so. Yeah.
Well, Brian, all the people on Instagram left us with. Thank God for our Facebook people, which on a side note, Facebook neighborhood is the worst idea ever. Just letting you know.
Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, my God, yeah. Well, there was already that like neighborhood or whatever it was called app.
Yeah.
I signed up for that once because the area I live in, they have their own thing for it.
Right.
I signed up and read some of them, and oh, my God, it's nothing but just like, get off my lawn and racism. That's basically all of it.
I just out of curiosity, I'm like, let me see what this is all about.
Yeah.
And it was like one guy's like, does anyone want to have breakfast today? I'm not a weird guy. I'm just looking for a friend. It's like, oh, Jesus. And then like, great Sunday morning to go to church. Who's going today? I'm like, this is horrible. Anywho, so last week we asked you.
You posted about going to church, though.
Yeah. What will immediately ruin a movie for you?
Yeah.
Face page, we got the comments. But I gotta put all comments, not just relevant ones, because I want to see them all.
Yeah, right.
So, Jeff from Hobie, he says when the credit directed by Michael Bay comes on the screen.
I don't disagree necessarily with that because there aren't very many of his movies that I'm.
That's pretty good.
Excited about.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
Zach, he says Tom Cruise.
Also fair. I mean, I'm not the biggest Tom Cruise fan. I mean, he's got some movies, but he's himself in like every movie except Tropic Thunder.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. When my parents walk in on me watching it, oh, this is from Big Dev, by the way. Sorry. Diamond fan, Big Dev. When my parents walk in on me watching it, oh, not that kind of movie. And he goes on. People having to discuss every detail of the movie, especially when the conversation is how the book or comic did it differently. Keep that shit for the car ride home, Karen. Nobody in your row cares that Mary actually dated Steve in the book.
I care. I don't.
Yeah, I know, right?
No. I'm very much in agreement with that. Like, that's just one of those things where you just go, huh, and you just pack it away for the car ride home.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, or your podcast.
Or your podcast. Kiki, she says, when you see way too many boom mics and film crew reflections.
She better never watch any movie we ever make then.
God, it's going to be Boom Mike the movie.
That's right.
Our buddy Jason Morrow.
Yeah.
Says there are a bunch of tropes that bother me, but none that are complete deal breakers on their own. He's much too forgiving of a man.
Yeah.
And then Michelle, she says, when the audio constantly jumps from almost inaudibly quiet speaking scenes, but ramps up for the loudest fucking explosions. Fuck that.
So Michael Bay movies. No. Yeah, that it's interesting. I don't notice that as much in the theater as much as I do at home.
Yeah, I don't think home systems are really built to deal with that shit.
Yeah.
But
I mean, maybe if you have the fancy surround sound setups and sound bars and all the fun stuff.
I got a cool sound bar, but it's not that cool.
Yeah, I don't, and I'm just going off whatever shit the TV puts out. So but in the theater, I don't notice it quite as much. But there are times for sure that something will happen. You'll be like, "Whoa, that is loud!"
Yeah,
like,
Jesus.
why did they make that so
My
loud?
favorite is when you're sitting in the theater and then you can hear the theater next to you. It's like
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Or wait,
like,
I know I have it here somewhere. Where is it? There it is. You hear that? And you're like, Jesus Christ, what are they watching? They're like, oh, that's that new, oh, God damn it, I can't remember her name anymore. That's a joke died on impact. I'm just going to punch out and move on.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Tyler Perry movie.
Medea?
Yeah, there you go.
It's too late.
It
was already
yeah,
dead.
So that blew up on the launch pad.
Yeah, we can't revive
that
it.
Was like
yeah.
like SpaceX version 1.
Right.
Skadoosh! Big explosion.
Yeah, he's dead, Jim.
Anywho, what do you got there, Brian?
That was all you had.
That's all I got.
All right. I don't remember seeing any on Twitter, so if someone sent one in, sorry. But I guess I'll read Cheetos, even though part of me really wants to just skip, be like, oops, I forgot.
Oh, it's crazy, Cheeto. Totally forgot, buddy.
Anyways, Cheeto says, not much. With today's trailers, it seems like we know most of the movie before we ever get to watch it. So I'm typically able to simply enjoy the movie, even if I know some spoilers. That's actually true too. Plus, with the internet, you know, a lot of stuff spoiled before you ever get to the movie. But
spoilers.
Right. It says, however, if we mean external things that might spoil the movie watching experience, I would say my answer is the people in the theaters. Nobody seems to know how to behave in a theater, hell, in public for that matter, anymore.
He's right.
Put the phone away in the theater. Quit talking about the feature. Chew with your fucking mouth closed. Amen. Quit slurping the bottom of that drink and go get a damn refill. Tell your kid to sit the fuck down. Throw your trash away at the end, etc. Get off my lawn. No, he didn't have that on there.
I mean, might as well.
Just really felt like get off my lawn. Yeah. He says, does that ruin the movie? Not necessarily, but it does screw up the movie theater experience. Besides, movie tickets aren't cheap, and I don't want to spend it distracted by someone that treats the theater like it's their living room. Otherwise, I'm typically not watching a movie I don't think I'll enjoy, so don't ever have a movie ruined for me.
Yeah,
that's fair.
That is fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quite
going
nice.
with an attitude, hey, I'm going to enjoy this.
Yeah. Quite nice. Quite nice.
Going in with, I'm going to find reasons to hate this.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
I do know people do that, though.
Yeah. But he's right. Like, I agree. That's usually what kind of ruins that, that experience for me, too, is just savages, basically. Yeah. Just people just being obnoxious. And it's like, hey, we're all enjoying this space together, like, act like it,
Stop being a bitch.
Or just stop being loud at least. Or like, with the phone, people don't think about the shit that, like, when, the way you're sitting, if you got your phone out, it creates a glare. It takes away from.
Yeah. It's just distracted too. Something, there's a rectangle of glowing light.
Right. Especially if they're one of those assholes that, still has the sound on for their texting or something too. Yeah. Like, is there a squirrel in here? What's going on?
What is that? I hope there's squirrels in here to make it more fun.
Otherwise, it sounds like somebody who's texting and is about to die. Like, all of a sudden, nothing.
All right, Brian. Well, we have multiple lists of QoftheWs. Do you want to go off of yours? Do you want to go off of mine?
Why don't we use yours? Because mine will probably want to reload again.
All right, mine's right here. So go 1, 2, or 3. My list is very short.
3.
All right. What food do you despise that other people love?
Do you know, really the best one for me probably ends up being fried eggs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't stand egg whites. I love dipping toast in the yolk.
Yeah.
But I won't order fried eggs because I feel guilty wasting the egg white. Because I won't eat it because I absolutely hate egg whites.
Fair enough.
So that's why whenever I get eggs, they're always scrambled because I just cannot. I just hate them. And I know so many people. I mean, and I guess not just fried eggs, but it's almost eggs is the answer because I like scrambled eggs, but I don't like deviled eggs. I don't like hard boiled eggs. I don't like fried eggs. So basically, I do not like them in a boat. I do not like them with a goat. It's like, so I'm super picky about eggs. And the worst part is with scrambled, it's a crapshoot. It's similar to like if you're trying to get a medium egg,
right?
Because with scrambled, I don't want them runny, but I don't want them hard. Like I want a nice fluffy egg, but I don't want it to still feel like it's undercooked.
Fair enough.
And I don't want all the flavor cooked out of them either. And there's a lot of places that use real hot flat tops for their eggs, and sometimes it's hard not to overcook them.
Yeah, you don't like burnt eggs? Delicious.
No. Oh God, no. Or reheated eggs. Ugh.
Yeah.
But there's other foods I could go with, like, Brussels sprouts. I wouldn't say there, because Brussels sprouts really feels almost like a 50-50 food.
Right.
Either you hate them or you're like, oh yeah, they're great. So, yeah, that's the first one that really pops into my head. I'm sure there's others, but that one's the one.
See, this is a hard one for me.
Yeah, you're pretty adventurous. You eat a lot of stuff.
I enjoy a lot of food.
Right. I've tried to get better about it, and I think I have gotten a lot better about it. But I'm just, the stuff I don't like almost always is because of mouthfeel or smell.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like I can't eat kimchi because I can't get past the smell of it. I tried even holding my nose one time and trying some, and I just, no, I'm not. Well, I'm not a fermented food person for the most part.
Fucking beers.
Yeah, beers all day. And ciders.
I think for me though, the thing that kind of stands out, right? Like I love chicken. I love fried chicken.
Sure.
You can take your chicken legs and fuck off though.
Really?
I'm not a big chicken leg guy.
Okay.
Like I like the thigh. I'm a thigh guy.
Right. Oh, thigh's the best piece of meat anyway.
Yeah, but those legs with because sometimes you get that weird tendony bite and.
Oh, okay. I'm with you on that
because it's just not my jam. Like if there's a bucket of fried chicken, I'm reaching for anything but the leg.
That's probably true. I'm the same way. I'm gonna reach for drummies or breasts or thighs before I'm going for the leg. That's actually why a lot of times, when you go get like a 3-piece, I usually am like, man, because I don't want legs.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. It's because it's usually like a thigh and 2 legs or something or a thigh and a drum. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, I'm just this. Yeah. I mean, I remember a long time ago because legs are dirt ass cheap. At least they used to be. I don't know with the way prices are going right now.
Yeah. Who knows now?
We bought like a giant bag of chicken legs for dirt cheap, and I kept like grilling them all summer. I was just like
I don't want these.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I just don't want. I don't like. I might buy them to make like stock, like make like ramen stock or something.
I mean, they would produce pretty good. I mean, they're, again, not as good as thighs, but
but it's just I gotta go chicken leg.
Okay. Another one that stuck out in my head would be hot dogs.
Oh, see, I am a hot dog fan.
Well, it's the thing. It's similar in that like every once in a while I'm like, man, hot dogs. And again, if I get a hot dog, it's like I want like a chili dog with cheese, mustard, onion on it. That's what I want. I don't,
Yeah, I'm not just gonna like. I remember my cousin growing up would just eat cold hot dogs out of the fridge, and I'm like, you are a
savage
fucking monster.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, when I was a kid, I used to eat a lot of them where I, just cut the old beanie weenies where you just cut it up into beans.
That's even not a thing I enjoy.
Like
if I'm doing a hot dog, it's gonna be a legit Coney dog, or I'm gonna put relish and mustard on it, and I will eat like 5 of those. I will go ham.
I'm usually I'll eat 2. If I'm not eating any sides, I might go to a 3rd one. But if I have I prefer to have a little something on the side, like chips, fries, something like that.
Me too.
But
hot dog.
Right. But that's it, man. It's like I could eat hot dogs and be good for like months and not have them again. I don't really love them to begin. Well, again, I'm not a big bologna fan, and it really just tastes like thinner bologna.
I mean, it's all it really is.
Yeah,
it's like the noodle or needle dick of the bologna world.
It's the micropene of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I couldn't really say those because I don't despise hot dogs. I'm just not a big fan, But again, if I'm in a place and they're if we were out and you were like, hey, let's get some conies, I'd be like, cool.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, because I still like them. But again, it's like that's what I want is I want like that full mess
the full
of
situation.
a hot dog. Yeah, I don't want to buy like dirty water dogs.
Yeah. I got a couple places in town that I'm like, if I drive by and I'm in the right mood, I'm popping in there. But it's only during the summer.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. That's why I said it's like I could almost say that, but I can't quite say it. I was trying to think of if there's anything else. I was trying to think of something more like, like bigger things. But I think eggs is a good one because so many people.
Like, my God, I'll eat the shit out of eggs.
Dude, if I smell deviled eggs, I'm like, because God, I can't remember which funeral it was. It was one of my family members that passed away, and I was in the lounge, and while we're sitting in there talking, somebody brought in a big plate of them of deviled eggs, and that was all I could smell, and I'm like I had to leave because I thought I was gonna get sick.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like I've told you before, I have this really short list of foods that if I smell it too much, I will physically get ill.
Yeah.
It's very weird. Like I can't help it. It's not that I want to be that way, and I'm not like being dramatic. It's just I will gag if I smell, if I smell like too much vinegar, Brussels sprouts or cabbage cooking or that, or even just Brussels sprouts. Because remember when we all went out for your birthday and like or almost everybody at the table was like, "Ooh, Brussels sprouts! What a great appetizer!" And I'm like, "Fuck you all,"
You know what's funny? Just on a side note, because you said vinegar.
Yeah.
Was like Michelle loves pickles, right? She's gonna hate that I'm talking about this, but whatever.
Yeah, that's all right.
And we did like we just bought some lunch meat. We did some sandwiches. Saturday, Leah came over for lunch.
Yeah.
And Michelle's like, I'm gonna get some pickles. I'm like, all right. And she basically ate the whole jar of pickles.
There's a lot of people that are that way, that they will just pound a whole thing of pickles.
I'm fine. Like I love pickles too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
like
I had like 2. I helped her a little bit.
Right.
But she's like, don't you guys just hate it when you eat a bunch of pickles and you get those like pickle sweats? And Leah and I are like, what? And it turns out she might have a slight vinegar allergy.
Oh no.
Because it's a thing.
First of all, I didn't know that. Second of all, it always sucks. Like if it's something you enjoy and then you have an allergy.
Yeah, she's like, I thought that happened to everybody. We're like, I don't know what you're talking about. She's like, your face doesn't get sweaty when you eat too many pickles? We're like, no.
Not unless they're like what do you call them? Like those hot ones that like Tony Packo's does.
No, just standard issue Clausen pickle.
Yeah. Right. Like if I was pounding a jar of those or something, yeah, I might sweat a little bit because there's a little heat in there. But otherwise, no. Yeah.
So that's how it led her to Google and finding out she probably has a vinegar allergy.
Well, that stinks.
I know, right?
I wonder if there's an alternate way to make pickles without vinegar. I can't think of what you would use, but
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that stinks.
Yeah. Sorry, babe.
Sad.
I had to talk about it.
Yeah. No, like I said, I've seen so many people that they'll sit down and just eat a whole jar of pickles.
Oh, yeah, no, like I said, you give me the right pickle, I will go ham.
I don't think I could eat that many, but like when you ever go to like any sandwich place and they're like, you want a dill, or they'll put one on the side, right. And I'm like, yeah, especially if it's a garlic one. Oh yeah, and a lot of times I'll be like, can I get an extra 1 or 6?
Yeah, I know, right?
I love those, but yeah.
Pickles.
Fair enough. Pickle sweats. If I didn't already have a name for the show.
I mean, pickle sweats would be a good one.
Well, we had Bantha donuts earlier, so
I mean that's fair.
I just can't go against Bantha donuts.
That's fair.
So. But just for Michelle, know that the alternate, like if this was the show, it'd be Bantha donuts, parentheses, pickle sweats. Just for her. All right, so there you go. So the question was what again? It was what food do you despise but others love? Is that what it was?
Yes. What food do other people love but you despise? Whatever. I threw it in the email I sent you. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I'm dying.
Oh, come on, knock it off.
Right.
Jesus. You're making the big bucks. You can't be like that.
I don't know about that.
Oh. All right. You don't still make the models of giant deer?
Yes. That would be funny, actually.
Yeah. Now, what do you do? Well, let's just say I make the big bucks.
The big bucks. Like, oh, really?
You just make those like Target ones,
Yeah.
like Cabela's and shit. Like, yeah, I make the big bucks. Oh, really? No. You put that on your Tinder profile.
Yeah. Maker of big bucks.
Yep. People are, oh, what do you do for a living? Well, come out to my garage and I'll show you. There's just a bunch of like deer out there. Like, this is kind of weird.
Huh. All right.
But also very erotic. Yeah. Like, okay, weirdo, get out of my garage.
Get the fuck out. Oh, shit. Well.
All right. So I guess there you go. Head on over to saltylanguage.com and check out the past episodes and find, like it's a mystery on there. Find the link for
Good luck.
For the whole month of January, our Where's Waldo contest will be to find the link to the network we're part of,
which is
Tangentbound Network, which can be found at tangentboundnetwork.com. So go check out the other shows over there, please. And of course, if you happen to talk to Mark at any point,
tell him I'm not Wrangler Wave, but I'm still upset.
Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, I mean, you can't do it on principle, right? Like once you don't own a Jeep anymore,
you're out.
You don't get that wave. Man, it's harsh but fair,
Yep.
It's tough. You just straight out cut somebody out, but also, I mean, I get it. So,
what are you gonna do?
Yeah, you're right. What are you gonna do? Oh man, my brain's just. I've not been braining well this week. Go figure.
Yeah, weird. It's like you had a weird week or something.
Yeah, I've also had, like I said, I've had a feckin' migraine all week too, which is awful.
Yeah.
Man, I totally blanked on what's next. I guess if you want to reach out to us on socials, find us on Twitter at salty_language. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Stunami, maybe. I guess. I don't know.
You can find me on Instagram at the monotony, if you don't know how to spell. And check out most of our episodes, not last week's, on YouTube, Salty Language Pod. It'll be going up there. And check us out on TikTok, Salty Language on TikTok, where I'm putting up clips of people. I mean, I'm not saying we're going viral, but people seem to dig them.
Right.
So, whatever.
I mean, I'll tell you in a couple days whether I went viral or not.
Hey, hey-o.
No one has told that joke before. Yeah. That was totally just right on the spot made up.
I mean, I've never heard it before. It's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Right?
Yep. All right. So there you go. I guess until next week, have a beer, you'll be fine. Oh, do you have the fortune pulled up?
Let me.
What are we doing here?
My little link. Because I have it favorited, so it's gonna be a server. All right, here we go.
I'll fix it in post so that it all sounds right. Well, everyone who's a long-term listener knows I'm not fixing shit in post. So, yeah.
Editing's for the week.
All right. So let's start over here. So, all right. So have a beer, you'll be fine.
Stay salty and always remember, you will make a sudden rise in life with your dick out. That kind of works out, actually.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
You said.
Damn it. I was hoping one of the lucky numbers was 69.
Nice.
It's not.
Oh, no, of course not.